This is a Pin Game Journal Pinball production.
We get our sign yet? So, let's see who's around. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's this. Sales, Jim Bell. Jim, hi.
Hello, welcome to Stern. Oh yeah.
Shelley. Hi, Shelley. Gary's not in his office, but I'm sure he won't mind if we take a look. And Dave. Dave is here in his office. Hello, Dave. Zach Sharp. Zach, hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the office area. This is my office straight in front of us. And then over to the right is procurement, one of the procurement offices. Over here is HR.
Secret.
That's secret HR. We tore down that wall. This here was a solid wall across. This was like a little dungeon room. And we opened it up, and now you get the outdoor lighting in here. Okay. So it really makes it a nice homier atmosphere for sure.
Cupcakes.
So, and we have cupcakes, that's always good. And we also have our Wall of Fame here. And then we have our COO, his office is over here, Kevin. And then you have another procurement office. And another procurement office over here where Eddie Spears resides. That's the famous Eddie Spears. That's we opened up 2 rooms, or turned 2 rooms into one large open room.
And it's a nice cozy
and it's nice and it works well. We all function well together, and it turned out better than we had hoped. Okay, so over here we have the stern waiting area. Stern waiting area is for people that come to work with their spouses, and they both have to be at work at 7:30 in the morning. This way they can get here early. We open the doors at 6 a.m. They could drop off their spouse early. They don't have to wait outside in bad weather. And then it gives them a nice, warm, safe place to be until 7:30 when we actually start working. So then over here we have the lunchroom area. And you see we have many microwave ovens and refrigerators where the left 2 refrigerators, if you put your food in there, we'll actually warm them up for you, and the right 2, if you don't want somebody touching your food, you can warm up your own, but that helps.
If you leave it in a certain refrigerator,
our janitors will warm up your food for you.
Ready for lunch.
Ready for lunch, so that it helps alleviate the load of people using all of the microwave ovens at the same time. Over here, this is our area where all our admins work. You have the plant manager, and you have our company IE, Jim. Over here is our Stern Arcade. Over here to the left we have our storage area for all the new pinball playfields that come in and are ready for use. And then on the back side we have line number 1 on the right and line number 2 on the left. So we have 2 major production lines. We'll go all the way back by the receiving docks. You see our new stop signs that we put up over here. You know, we'll look out for forklifts and things like that for everybody's safety. Over here to the left is our incoming inspection area.
This is like very nice. Whole display here.
It shows you we pretty much have a lot of the games that we have produced in the past. So when people come through, they can visually see different games that we've made. This is where it all starts. We receive all our parts over here. They go into the stock room and inspection, which are your first 2 points over here. Again, you have less walking this way. So we put all the raw materials here. and they take them at the front of the lines and they work them through up to the front when they become play fields and go into the cabinets and make the whole game. The cable department, you may want to take a quick sweep through here just to let everybody see. Everything here on the left side, you have our staking machines where we're putting all the pins and the terminals into connectors. Then over here on the right are where all our nail-up boards go, and that's where it has point-to-point run-in sheets. These are the progressive assembly lines. The progressive assembly lines are used more for the old SAM system because they were much larger cable harnesses, so you needed that progressive line with that, I call it the Lazy Susan.
Then the newer system,
newer system you could do in stationary work areas because it's a single cable. It's not a progressive cable that has everything put into one assembly. So we could come back this way. You'll see our cabinet, and you see we have some Metallicas and AC/DCs that we're doing.
Yeah,
again, the convenience of having two lines, you know, we have that flexibility. So here's the assembly line. This is where it all starts. We get them up onto the carts, then we put them in positions. You have all the parts bins in the back. This is where they put in all the rails, the wires, the tilt bobs, the coin doors, flipper switches. The carts are padded and they have braces on the side so that we can make sure that if a cart bangs into one another that it hits the cart only, not the game. In the back here, you'll see the back box. You'll see all the wood panels. This is where we actually put on the decals to the side panels.
Oh, okay.
The side panels are wood, and then the main body of the back box is metal. And the main body is built over here. And the side panels are put on over here, and all the parts, the miscellaneous parts are put on. And you'll see again, we like Lazy Susans, right? So you could sit here and you could just spin it around. So this way, when you're building all the components inside the back box, you don't have to stretch over, and that's where errors come in the manufacturing. So you're placing all your parts down, you rotate it 90 degrees, and then you come full circle and all the parts are put in while you're straight above it, and you can do your work more accurately and precisely. So, and then over here you'll see some more parts being installed, and we have it on a nice angle over here. They'll have all the decals, so they'll apply that. And instead of it laying flat, it's just nice to have it in front because now you have all your clamps and things in position. So now you're putting in power supplies, CPUs, and you have a straight-on view of it. So you're putting it in exactly where it needs to be, and you can see what you're doing and how you're doing it. Onto the cabinet line. So the cabinet is fully built by the time it gets to this point. That's where the up through the middle is where we have all of our sub-assemblies. The sub-assemblies are done in this section, and they feed the line number 2 to the left, line number 1 to the right.
All right, so we're walking down the middle.
So left-hand side, this is going to be the manufacturing line, and to the right of me will be all of our work cells that will feed the line. Phase 1 was pick everything up, bring it over here. Phase 2 is get it all structured and organized. Phase 3 will have more lean manufacturing. This is the dressing area where we arrange the cable harness onto the playfield to make sure that it's out of the way. After dressing, then you come over here to the playfield test area, just as we had it in the original layout. You know, so we have 10 test racks across there right now to test playfields with. After the playfields, you know, the playfields come off of line 1 and 2. They converge over here in the dressing area. Then from the dressing area, they go over here into the playfield test area. Then we go back here on this side. This side is where the game comes together. We take the playfields and we put them into the empty boxes.
Right, yeah.
We'll pick up the playfield, and then they move to the next position, and they drop it into the cabinet with the back box. Cabinets are already assembled, and the back box, we insert our playfields, and now the game becomes a whole and goes up into final testing. Up here in final testing is where the final testers will make sure that all the aesthetics are correct on the game is working properly, the lights, the solenoids, the switches, so on. The game rules are all working, and everything is built the way it's supposed to be built.
And you have these tracks that I just tripped over.
Yes.
And so that keeps everything in line.
And everything stays in a nice linear pattern, so that everything keeps moving forward in a straight pattern, so you can keep everything isolated and organized the way you need it to be.
And then from here.
And then over here, then you come off the tracks, you come into the back section, and this here is where we do our okay to pack. They visually go over the game, make sure that everything is structured and organized the way it's supposed to be. So they have a very good eye for the visual as far as any defects on play fields or cabinets, decals, any of the above. And they'll take care of all of that before they send it up into packing. In the packing area, we do our high pot testing. We put on all the different decals, instructional decals like how many balls per play in the game, so you know how many. It should have 3 balls, 5 balls. They vacuum everything out, make sure everything is clean. They'll put in the cash box with the game manual, line cords for different countries, all of the above. And then we come over here, and over here is where they do the wiping down, the final wipe down. They put in the glass. They make sure that the information labels are in there for removing cable ties, plastic bags, excess, all the packaging material that go with the game. They make sure that all the labels are in place and put in the back glass. This here's where the back glass finally goes in. And then from here they pack it up and go into a box and they ship it out. The flow starts at the receiving dock. They put all of the new goods in the back, feeding back into the line, and then they push it up here to the front. We package it and it goes out the shipping docks and it goes to our good customers. Okay, when you get into final test, so this way you always have games waiting and queued up. And then from final test, you come out here, and that's when you go into the packing line. And the packing line will come down this way.
Oh, and go and
directly toward the shipping docks. And then over here is where they're
oh, look at that. Here we are.
And this here is where we'll have our phone. Over here to the left, you see where we have the finished goods. You know, nowadays overseas, we send many varieties of games at the same time. You usually have your main product that you're building, one of the cornerstone games, and then they like to add in a few miscellaneous games that you've had before. You can see all of our country flags up here. This is a small sampling of some of the countries that we take care of. So here we are.
Yeah.
And now we have our finished goods. We have a nice linear path from the beginning out to the front, and games go out the door.
Wow.
Quality is much better, and the flow of product is much better. A far cry from back at Melrose Park, where we had a ship and receive out of one dock, and it was very tight quarters of only 40,000 square feet. Now we're in 110,000 square feet, and we have plenty of room to do our jobs the way they're supposed to be done, and structure and organize it the way we'd like it going forward in the future now.
That's very cool.
So it's all very neat and exciting, and we're proud of it.